because you can.
I just gotta type in the title. Alrighty. Welcome to episode 3 of Shooting the Shit with Matt and Steven. I'm Matt. This is Steven.
I'm Steven.
He's still secluded in his undisclosed location.
My room. They don't allow me out in public that often.
So today we're changing it up a little, and I'm gonna put a little gameplay video up in the box with us. Play a little Slime Rancher while we talk. We discuss the discusses.
What's that game?
Slime Rancher?
Oh yeah.
Nothing too spectacular.
I agree. It looks like nothing. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't look like that bad a game.
You go out in the wild, you find different slimes, then you breed them, and then you sell their shits. Actually,
you sell their shit.
Yeah, you feed them, they poop, and then you sell their poop.
Oh, that is so awesome. That's on PC or?
And it's on PC and on Xbox One. And I don't know if it's on like PlayStation or anything. Because
I probably can't get it on this computer because this computer's a piece of shit. But it does look like a pretty okay game.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's one of those games where if you don't really want anything too hard and you just want to mind numb. So, what do we got on the agenda for tonight, Mr. Steven?
We have first, you've heard that they got that Warner Brothers doing a solo Joker film?
I did. I have.
I haven't read anything about it, but I've seen that they want to do it. And they want to use a different actor. They don't want to use
right, which is odd considering they want it to be canon and they want it to stay in the DC's extended universe, but yet they're keeping Jared Leto for Suicide Squad 2 and the Gotham Sirens movie.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder what their whole plan with that is going to be.
See, I think if they did an origin one, they could probably get away with it because they could use a younger person for, a younger Joker.
Yeah, but I mean, Jared Leto is pretty young Joker as it is. I mean, he doesn't look that old anyways. I mean...
Well, if you spray paint yourself white, you won't look that old.
Is that the secret?
Yeah. Spray paint and what is it, gold teeth he has.
So if I go into work next week, spray painted, they'll be like, "What did you do? It's like you lost 10 years."
No, they'll be fine with it. They'll be like, actually, spray paint yourself green because you got to keep the theme going at work.
Yeah, well, then I can just go shirtless and like pin my tag to my chest.
Yeah, just staple it to your chest. Nobody will even know the difference. They'll be like, "Wow, Matt, you got a nice shirt. Where can I get one like that?"
I'll be like, "Yeah, this is custom made, baby."
Mm-hmm. See, I wonder what they would use for. Like I said, I haven't read anything. Maybe they just discussed it, but what they would use for a story for a solo Joker film.
If it was now, see, that's just the thing. Are they gonna? That kind of delves into one of the other topics you had. Is they're going to finally release the name of the Joker in the comics. So are they gonna go with that storyline maybe and do like a prequel to the Joker, or are they gonna legitimately do a Joker origin where Batman turns him into the Joker and all that?
Well, see, the comic that they're doing, that Sean Gordon Murphy's doing, is more of like a. They've described it as kind of like an Elf world storyline,
Right.
because it's a different take. Because you got Batman is essentially the villain in the miniseries, and Harley and Joker are the good guys.
Now, is that the one with the cover I saw where like the Joker was like dressed in a business suit and stuff?
I don't know. How long ago did you see it?
Not too long ago. It was on the internet.
Well, the series is called Batman White Knight. Shit, spelled it wrong. And I think there's a cover with Batgirl on it. Yes, you got Harley without. She's like wearing a red dress.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a cover or just a page, but it shows Harley. She's like wearing these rose-colored glasses, the white gloves that go almost up to the shoulder, a red dress, and then you got the Joker in like some kind of dress attire, the suit and tie thing.
Yeah. And it says that they're going to take down Batman or whatever or something like that.
I read the kind of when they first were talking about it, but it's been a while. I guess the way the story's going to go is it's going to take place in a world where the Joker has been cured of his insanity, and he's no longer going to be homicidal.
So he's going to be cured of his insanity.
Huh?
He's going to be cured of his insanity.
Yeah, that's what it says. So basically, he's not going to be crazy anymore.
Okay.
And the now sane Joker will be viewing Batman as the villain. And Sean Gordon Murphy, the guy that's writing and doing the artwork, I imagine there's other people helping him, but he's like the main guy. He says he told Wired that his main goal was to undo the comic trope while changing Gotham from a comic book city into a real city, a city dealing with everything from Black Lives Matter to the growing wage gap. So I think, but rather than write a comic about the wage gap, I gave those ideas to the Joker, who leads a kind of media war against Gotham's elite by winning people over with his potent observations and rhetoric.
So they're going to basically make him a political figure.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, right here it says the newly reformed Joker, or Jack, will become someone the Cape Crusader has rarely had to face down, a politician. And the Joker's a genius and shit. Well, he's smart. He's not stupid. He's probably one of Batman's smartest foes, you know? Because this guy's like, what, 190 years old or some shit like that?
Right.
So Sean Gordon Murphy thought, why not make him a politician? Uh, and stripping away the psychosis, which is the thing he believes is holding the Joker back, and let him challenge Batman unimpeded. And to make it even scarier, what if he did it legally and without breaking any rules so that Batman couldn't stop him?
Right. I don't
So
know. It might be interesting.
It's a 7-issue mini-series, and it's written and illustrated by Sean Gordon Murphy, and the cover artwork of issue 1 is also done by him, and the coloring of the cover is done by Matt Hollingsworth, and it's going to be a black and white series.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Now, I haven't seen a lot of Sean Murphy stuff, but I've read that he did a series a few years back called Punk Rock Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you read it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I believe Geek Life got a digital copy of that, didn't we?
Huh?
Didn't Geek Life get a digital copy of that?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I know I have a physical copy of it too. I think we got it I got a couple issues in a grab bag at Full Moose once.
Maybe that was what it was. Yeah.
But for those that don't know or haven't read the series, which I recommend, I thought it was pretty okay. It's about this company that clones Jesus, makes the Jesus, and he's pretty much isolated except for a bodyguard and scientist and his mother. And he starts to become rebellious as, teenagers do. And he ends up eventually leaving this island and becoming a punk rocker. And that's how he spreads his message. So he is punk rock music. I mean, I think it's interesting. I don't explain it well.
It sounds a little absurd, but the comic itself wasn't bad.
But, yeah. And it's actually pretty decent. Like, I like these different takes. I mean, I have an interest in theology.
Right.
The stories.
Right.
And, so, like, these comics that are coming out, or that are out, like,
Escape from Jesus Island.
yeah, Punk Rock Jesus was good, with the cloning of, like, a Jesus. And then Escape from Jesus Island, which I think they're at issue 4. Issue 4 is either coming out or issue 5 is coming out. I can't remember. But I think it's like roughly every 6 to 9 months, maybe, that a new issue comes out. Like, there's a big span between the issues, but it's well worth the wait because
right, it's done well.
Huh?
The book, it's done well.
Yeah, the artwork is amazing, and the story is good. And that's another thing about cloning Jesus. Only, they've tried cloning him 100 times, like an absurd amount of times to finally get the right one, so to speak. The Aryan Jesus. That is not right, because Jesus didn't have blonde hair. I don't even know if he had blue eyes.
I don't know. I mean, he was a Middle Eastern fella.
Yeah, so it was probably darker complexion. So I guess he wouldn't be Aryan either, because
It seems like you would have to be.
Whatever. I'm not getting into it.
What do we know?
But yeah. So that series looks like it's gonna be good. Batman White Knight. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be revealing the Joker's name, and apparently this is going to be the first time his name appears in comic form in DC Comics. If you do not count Tim Burton's movie adaptations or anything affiliated with Tim Burton in the comics. But his name, spoiler, is Jack Napier, which is what it was in the '89 movie of Batman with Jack Nicholson playing him. Which is good. It seems like they're trying to connect everything now, somehow. I mean, ever since Marvel started doing the connected universe, like their TV, Netflix, movie are all connected. It seems like a lot of other people are trying to connect all their stuff. Like there's a movie that just came out. Has James McAvoy in it.
Starting to lose you.
Huh?
Starting to lose you.
I took out the wrong earbud. Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
I took out the earbud that had the mic on it, so it was getting farther away from it. The movie Split that M. Night Shyamalan just did.
Yep.
With James McAvoy. Apparently that's connected to a previous movie he did called Unbreakable.
Right.
I haven't seen either of them. I probably won't see either of them.
Unbreakable was good. Even though I liked it because I like origin story movies anyways.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to heroes and villains and all that, and that was kind of like both. So I really think Unbreakable was one of M. Night Shyamalan's best movies, story-wise, and I think it was one of Bruce Willis's best movies. I'm not a huge Bruce Willis fan, so it might not be much coming from me.
I think Bruce Willis is okay. I've watched the Die Hard movies a few times, but I haven't watched a lot of M. Night Shyamalan. I don't think. Like I've seen apparently none of his movies.
You haven't seen Signs?
That's the alien one, right?
Yep.
Who's in it?
I believe Mel Gibson's in it. And Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. I've seen Signs, and I've seen The Happening is the one with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yep. And he did, what was it? Lady in the Water, I think is what it's called.
I haven't seen it.
It's the one with Paul Giovanni, I think is his name.
I just opened up his IMDb page, and it looks like Signs and The Happening are the only two movies I've seen of his. And I must have seen Signs when it first came out, because I don't remember it. The Happening, I think I've only seen once, and people give it a lot of shit because it's about trees.
Right, I liked it.
I didn't think it was bad, but for some reason, I like Mark Wahlberg movies.
Right. Yeah, I do too. He's kind of a
well,
guilty pleasure thing.
yeah. Like, hold on. I don't even know. He's been in a lot of movies, hasn't he, Marky Mark?
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Oh, there it is. It's from August. Renaissance Man. That's the one with Danny DeVito, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Apparently he was in that.
Really?
Yep, that's what, yeah.
Isn't that kind of an older movie?
1994. He was in Fear. He was that crazy guy that had tattoos, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think I saw that one. I think I saw the original Fear. Wasn't it a remake?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't seen Boogie Nights.
You're not missing much.
I've seen, huh?
You're not missing much. Except at the end of it when you get to see the fake penis he pulls out of his pants.
Oh yeah.
Now you're gonna rush right out and watch it.
Oh, you don't even know. I'm actually Googling it right now so I can find it and hook off it. I've seen Three Kings. That's the one where they steal the gold, right?
Right, him and George Clooney and who's he was?
Yeah. I've seen The Perfect Storm.
Have you seen
he ends up dying on a boat.
Right. Have you seen Four Brothers?
I think I have, but I'm not sure.
It's like him and three other guys who were all adopted by this like older lady go and get revenge because she was like murdered or something.
See, the story sounds familiar, so there's like a 50-50 chance I've seen it.
I may be explaining it completely wrong, but if I remember it right, it was a good movie.
I've seen I've seen Planet of the Apes, which I thought was okay, although I like the new ones better.
Yeah, the new ones are a lot better.
I can't wait. Like, I want to see the War of the Planet of the Apes. I wanted to see it in theaters, but I never made it out there to see it.
Yeah, same.
But that should be good. Rockstar I've seen. The Italian Job. I'd like The Italian Job. That might be because Jason Statham's in it, though. And Jason Statham is the man.
Now, I know we talked a lot about Flash last time, but you see that Katee Sackoff's going to be starring as a villain?
I did see that. I think it's going to be fucking episode 4, I think I read.
Something like that, but from what I understand, she's supposed to be like reoccurring. So
I think I've seen something like that too.
I'm wondering if she's going to be working with the Thinker guy.
Well, see, I took in Google Blacksmith, and apparently, in the comics, she starts a new rogues gallery.
Oh, really?
With Weather Wizard, I think. Or something like that.
Is it? I thought he died. With the timelines being all screwy, who knows what happened.
Well, no, Weather Wizard was that first guy he fought.
Right.
That Jake shot. Remember, in episode 1, he ran around the tornado backwards and killed him.
Yeah.
Because then Spartacus showed up to avenge his brother. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but the guy that played Spartacus in Stars.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Blacksmith started a new rogues gallery, and they're basically a pain in the Flash's ass until the Thinker, who was supposed to be this season's big bad, took in. I don't know if he killed her or just, you know, fucked her up or whatever, but basically the Thinker gets rid of her so that he can take on the Flash in the series.
Right.
So that's probably what it's going to be, something like they're going to use her as a stepping stone to the quote-unquote big bad of the series, or the season. She's going to be Spike compared to the Thinker's Angel.
Right.
Using a Buffy analogy.
I have to say, though, me personally, I think she's better looking than Spike. But that's just me. I'm sure a lot of middle-aged women out there would say otherwise.
I think it was coming pretty close. Well, I'm not a middle-aged woman. That's why. They should bring the guy, the portrayer of Spike. His name is James Marsters, right?
Yep.
There's another. What's the other Marster? The
James Marsden.
Cyclops.
James Marsden.
Oh, see, fucking names so close together, fuck me up. But they should bring in the Flash. Should bring in like Anthony Stewart Head and James Marsters
for the musical episode.
The next musical that they do.
Yes.
They should do a crossover.
They wouldn't be able to use frickin' Nicholas Brendan because he's a drunk.
Yeah. He can crossover Repo the Genetic Opera with the Flash, so that like a villain from a different Earth comes to Earth 1, and it's like the Repo Man from Repo the Genetic Opera. So you got Anthony Stewart Head trying to fucking kill people with operating knives and stuff. That'd be great.
Well, Sarah Michelle Gellar would probably do it because she can't keep a TV show going to save her soul.
Yeah, but see, I didn't really look. I don't know that I liked a lot of her songs in the Buffy movie. I mean, they were okay, but like.
Unfortunately, I have that whole soundtrack memorized.
I know a few of the songs. Like, I've Got a Theory, Rest in Peace, most of Sweet's songs, because I just fucking love that suit he wears. The zoot suit.
Why'd you run away?
I want that zoot suit. And I want one that changes color, because if I remember correctly, while he's singing, it changes colors from red to blue, or blue to red. I can't remember what. That would be awesome. Wow. They should do a new Buffy movie where that's a musical. Sweet comes back, kills Dawn, kills. Actually, I've read some of the comics that go on, and I don't think they'd be able to do a movie to keep with the storyline, because it's just gotten like Angel was the big bad in one of the comic book seasons.
Oh, really?
He was called Twilight or something like that. And
was he Angelus again?
Huh?
Did he turn into Angelus again?
No, I think he was just regular angel. I didn't read that part. I just uh, read the spoilers for that one. But no, he called himself Twilight because he started to sparkle. Just kidding. And
That'd be funny if it was true.
if I remember correctly, Dawn and Xander got together.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, if she's 18, I guess it's not working. But
She doesn't really exist anyway, so it doesn't matter.
well, like in the comic series, I don't know if he died. He probably did. But Giles was turned into a kid, and I don't know if he became an adult again, but he was hanging out with Faith.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. It can get really confusing, especially if you only read like one of the comics in the series every year or two. But yeah. So I don't think they'd actually, unless they like rebooted it, they wouldn't be able to do another Buffy movie based on the series. It would have to be like a continuation of the original movie
Right.
with Luke Perry and Pee Wee Herman. Wasn't it Pee Wee Herman that was one of the bad guys?
Yep.
Yeah. So have you seen any of the new Defenders series?
We actually just got done watching the first 2 episodes before we started streaming.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Any good?
Yeah, if you like the other series, because it's pretty much just a continuation off of the other 4 shows.
See, I didn't. I thought Iron Fist was slow, and I still haven't finished it. Like I sped through.
Yeah, Iron Fist was slow to start with, but it finished strong. If you like the Iron Fist story, I think they hyped up Iron Fist too much. I think Iron Fist should have been the first show.
Mhm.
I think Daredevil should have been the last show out of the group because it was done so much better than the rest. And it built up people's expectations so much for the other shows that I think people didn't give them as much of a chance.
Right.
Which is not saying the shows are bad, because they're not. They're not bad shows at all.
I'm thinking they probably just started with Daredevil because
he's most familiar.
Yeah, because you had the Affleck movie that people shit on. I didn't really think it was bad. I liked the Affleck movie, but you know, Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yeah. I didn't really think it was that bad, but I think Affleck's an okay person.
Right.
Not person.
But I can say I'd much rather see him play Batman than Daredevil again.
Yeah. So, I think Kevin Smith should do like a Jersey Girl Part 2 and bring Ben Affleck and that. But you wouldn't have George Carlin as the father.
Right.
But bring back Liv Tyler and Affleck. And you'd have to have an older daughter now, because that movie came out in the 90s.
If he were to do something like that, I would see it as the little girl was older now and she was trying to be in a relationship and all that. And maybe they'd have Affleck on there as her still as her father, but more of a supporting role than anything.
He'd be the George Carlin in this movie.
Right.
Yeah. That's probably how they'd have to do it. I wonder if he's gonna come back for what is it? The uh
From
Kevin Smith.
what I read, he was coming back. You're talking about Mallrats, right?
No, I guess that's like dead in the water right now.
Really?
Yeah,
That sucks balls.
because I think I seen that they were trying to shop it out to people, but nobody was interested. And there's only certain aspects that Kevin Smith still owns or something because it was one of his first movies. So
Right.
I think like his only two original characters he really owns is Jay and Silent Bob, which is why they're doing going to be doing the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
They're doing a
I think
reboot?
that's what it's called. No, it's not a reboot of Jay and Silent Bob. It's you've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back,
Oh, okay.
where they're trying to make the Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Right.
Miramax.
So it's gonna be like they're just gonna call it reboot.
Yeah, what's happening is I guess the premise is they're going to try to reboot the Jay and Silent Bob movie from the Jay and Silent Bob. It's confusing saying this. I've just okay. They were doing Blunt Man and Chronic,
Right.
And Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and apparently in this new one they're going to try to reboot that Blunt Man and Chronic film, and it's going to be Jay and Silent Bob trying to stop the reboot.
Okay.
I'm about
So basically it'll be the same movie, only them stopping the reboot instead of the original.
Sure, I guess. I confuse myself with all that. I'll watch it. I've watched 99% of Kevin Smith's movies. I still haven't seen Tusk.
Tusk is disturbing.
I think that's the only one I haven't seen because I watched Yoga Hosers. And
Tusk was better than Yoga Hosers.
I don't know how it couldn't be.
I like that Kevin Smith wants to give his daughter an opportunity and all that, but she can't act. And I don't think Johnny Depp's daughter can act any better.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't. Whatever. I'm gonna stop talking right now. Like I said, I'll probably watch it. Tusk is the only one of his movies I haven't seen yet. I've seen all of his others. His earlier stuff, like Clerks, isn't my favorite, but it's okay. But like Mallrats, Jersey Girl,
Right.
Clerks 2, probably a couple I'm missing. Those are my favorite of his, but I'll watch anything he does. Like every once in a while I'll listen to Smodcast, but they do that shit like every day or something like that. Right?
He's got so many podcasts going. It's like I don't see how he has time to take a shit.
I know.
He probably has. He probably has a podcast, Taking a Shit with Kevin Smith.
I mean, we can barely keep one going, and we're losers. We do less than he does.
Right.
And I just don't know how he can do it. But
lots and lots of money.
What it is, he has friends. Friends that.
We're our only crew.
That's what it is. Like, I read him. Well, I read something he said once. You got to surround yourself with yes men, or yes people that tell you yes, or why the fuck not. And the only person I have like that is like you. You're like, fucking, let's do it. And then we get halfway done and stop. But uh, but yeah, Kevin Smith is my idol. I used to want to be like him. I wanted to be like Vince McMahon at one time too, though.
A ruthless businessman.
Yeah, like he owned at one time $1 billion company. I Dude was a billionaire, so he was doing something right.
Yeah, he
But that
had
was back.
he had good writers and good talent, and then he was like, "Nah, I'll let Stephanie do that now."
See, some of the storylines I didn't, but I don't know how the storylines are now.
Not enough to keep me interested.
But like, what was his real name? Vic Venom, uh, the writer. What was his real name? He was at CNA and WCW and
I don't know.
uh, yes you do. He had like he was on air too, and he was annoying as shit when he saw it. Um,
Paul Heyman?
I, no, shit. Hold on. I'm gonna check this right here.
You got it right in your back pocket.
Vince Russo.
Vince Russo. Okay, yep.
He was Vic. He wrote as Vic Venom in the WWF magazine, and I think he went by Vic Venom when he was hosting Livewire back in the 90s. But he was a decent-ish writer, so he thought he needed to be on TV. I think that's where the writers stop becoming good, is when they start putting themselves in.
Right. Because then they start being biased with their writing and shit. But I mean, he's also, you got to remember during the Raw era and shit, they had fans that still believed wrestling was real, and 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 I get that it's not fake, because they get a lot of injuries and shit, but it's scripted. It is scripted, and people are realizing that now, and they're not writing to people that realize that this is all scripted. They're still writing to people that they think don't know that. And for people that do know that it's scripted, it just feels kind of cheesy now. It's like they're not doing anything to pull back the old fans back in, and it's.
See, I think, like I said, it's been a while since I watched wrestling, but I think they're kind of writing towards those smarter fans, because they like show all the stuff. They show more stuff behind the scenes, like at the press conferences. The wrestlers are more buddy and shit.
Right.
And back in the day, they would act like they hated each other and fucking scowl and stuff. Like even up into the 90s, when they did Tyson and Shawn Michaels, they still did the thing where they were like, I fucking hate you. No, I hate you worse. You know? I actually think it'd be better if they started writing, like I said, I don't know what they're doing now, but if you made it so you could suspend belief uh, more. Like, when I thought wrestling was real, I fucking enjoyed the shit out
Right.
of it. And I think that's what they gotta do. They gotta bring the quote unquote magic back into it. Bring
And,
DX back.
I don't
A
know.
newer version of DX.
Yeah, like DX was awesome, and they don't really have those kind of groups anymore. I mean, they have groups and stuff, but it's like they can't get over a good guy group that really lasts very long.
What it is
So then they just end up having all these bad guy groups and a bunch of individual wrestlers going against them, and it's
I think look, TNA's still around, right?
I have no idea.
It's like floundering, but I think it's still around. Uh, I think if there's more competition with TNA, or if they seen TNA as a more viable competitor like they did with WCW back in the 90s, you would see some awesome wrestling again.
Right.
Because during the Monday Night War, that was some of the best programming that you got for wrestling.
And I think that was a big mistake that Vince did, was buy WCW. Not on his part as a businessman, but from a fan perspective, they don't have that competition anymore. And it just... He should have left it as two different brands and kept the merger like private.
Yeah.
And ran it that way. The rivalries they could have and the crossovers.
See, they should have made it so that it was a closed thing. The sale, they didn't let anybody know who bought it. You know, have it sealed or whatever the hell they do in the contract, so that, you know, like clause where you're not supposed to fucking talk about it.
Right. Non-disclosure agreement.
Right, and had it where people weren't crossing back and forth. Like when they did the WCW, WWE, or WWF storyline back then, you had people crossing from WWF over to the WCW team and back and forth. And you had Stephanie and Shane going against Vince, and they shouldn't have done that. And it was just as, I wouldn't say it was just as bad, because ECW was a smaller promotion, but when he got ECW too, I mean, some of their wrestling was okay, but
I think at that point when he bought ECW was pretty much done.
Yeah.
And I think more than anything, he bought it just so he could sell the videos.
Yeah, well, I think when he bought WCW, he got a lot of the old NWA videos too. So
he would have had to have, yeah.
And that in of itself was enough to more than pay for what he spent on WCW. Like, he bought it for what, like $4 million or some shit like that?
It wasn't really much in that aspect of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe it was to the point where they weren't even paying their wrestlers and stuff anymore.
He pretty much stole WCW. I mean,
it's true.
But I think Vince McMahon is a genius. I mean, he does some stupid shit.
Oh, as a businessman, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
well,
never
I
been a
think,
fan of his online persona,
oh yeah.
his on air persona.
See, I thought it was okay. I liked him a little bit. Uh, and I dug his entrance music.
That was the best part.
uh, but I also like Shane McMahon's entrance.
Yeah,
Music.
I was a fan of Shane when Shane like. I mean, I had respect for Shane when he like put his body on the line, jumping from like the freaking teleprompter and shit thingy.
Oh yeah, because he's retarded. I, yeah, but I can't say much because, like, when I was younger, I I used to want to be a wrestler. Fucking me and Joe, we wanted when we were in high school. There was one of two wrestling schools that we wanted to go to. We either wanted to go to the Ultimate Warriors wrestling
Let me
school.
guess, or Shawn Michaels.
Holy shit! It's like you read my fucking mind. And needless to say, we went to neither one. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get through any of it because I'm fat and out of shape. And pretty much always have been. Joe probably could have handled it. I mean, because back in high school, he was doing nip ups and fucking uh the British Bulldog used to do that thing where he'd flip in the ring and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe would do that, and
Well, isn't he
he'd
just a
walk
fucking show off?
he'd walk around on his hands and shit.
And you'd
I'm
walk
like,
up behind him and push him down the stairs.
I'm like, dude, I fucking hate you. I mean, ah, yeah, but so Joe probably could have done it. I mean, he was. I won't say he was in shape, but uh, he was probably in the best shape of anybody I knew at the time because he was the chick magnet in our group of friends.
Well, yeah.
Um, yeah, it was either Shawn Michaels or the Ultimate Warrior. But the Ultimate Warrior used to have a comic book, and I think that's the main reason we wanted to go there. I mean, because the Ultimate Warrior was crazy at one time. I mean, he was whacked out. But Shawn Michaels has always been my favorite wrestler, and I think since I started hanging out, he was one of Joe's favorites too, because Joe and I used to hang out all the time in high school, and like when I went over to his house for the weekend, we'd there was a shit, what are they called? It's been so long since I've had video rental store, Nordwall. It was
Mm-hmm.
like across from Cumbies.
Yeah, it was Brookside Video. They only just recently closed, like within the last couple of years.
Really?
Right. I mean, they were still open way after like movie gallery and stuff closed down.
But like we'd go there and rent movies when I was over at Joe's house, and we'd rent like fucking old WrestleManias and shit and go watch them at his house. Uh, I think the first pay-per-view that I got ever was probably WrestleMania. Was it 12 that Shawn Michaels won the belt? The Iron Man match?
I can't say definitively.
But and I think I've watched that WrestleMania like several. Yeah, it's WrestleMania 12. And back when I was really into wrestling, I watched that thing so many times because Shawn Michaels won the belt, man. But that used to be a thing, and when we were in school, like fucking Tuesday morning after wrestling, we'd be in the cafeteria talking about what happened on Monday Night Raw,
Well,
and
yeah,
there was
everybody was talking about wrestling back then. It's like it seems like only the really, really, really diehard fans are still into it, and little kids.
then then you'd get this one person who watches WCW start talking about it. Everybody like
or
looking at him like, you
or you'd be like my mom and you'd watch one and record the other.
know, I used to do that too.
See, my
I
mom
like,
was really into wrestling back then and during the Monday Night Wars.
yeah, yeah, like when I was into wrestling and had my collection, I had on DVD uh, footage of the oldest surviving piece of a wrestling match, a professional wrestling match, and it was like 12 minutes uh, of this match, and apparently it was a match that had lasted 3 hours. Because back then it was more real. I mean,
Right.
it was probably actually real. Uh, but yeah, because my shit, my dad preferred WCW. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really like it. I liked WWE better. Like when I in the '80s, Junkyard Dog was probably one of my
Oh, I
favorite
love
wrestlers.
Junkyard Dog.
And I think it's mostly because he did that fucking dance where he puts his hand on his knees and traded his hands with his knees. It's like fucked up. And
I
so,
would have figured you for more of a Coco Beware kind of guy.
see, I thought Coco Beware was okay, but I like the Junkyard Dog the best. And uh, I don't even know why. Like I said, it was probably because of that. Because I can't remember if it was in the ring or like when he went in. He'd go there and he'd do that. I don't even know what it's called, but that dance move where they move their knees in and out and they switch hands from one knee to the other. You know,
Right.
I'm probably not explaining it well, but
I know what you're talking
I know.
about.
Uh, so because I used to get disappointed, we'd watch WWE or WWF uh, like during the week, and back then it was also on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. You had Superstars and Livewire, and before Livewire there was something else. Uh, I can't remember what the show was, but then at night, Dad would put it on TBS for NWA. It wasn't even WCW at the time. The show was World Championship Wrestling, but I think it was still an NWA uh, promotion. And I would be so disappointed that because if I remember correctly, Saturday nights were like 2 hours, and then Sunday nights were 1 hour
Right.
of World Championship Wrestling. I was wicked disappointed when we had to watch that. Like, I think that may have been even before Sting came into wrestling there. I'm not quite sure. I remember Sting back when he still had colorful.
Back when he was the Crow, before he was the Crow.
Yeah. Uh, there were a couple of wrestlers I liked from back then. Like, I did like the Four Horsemen back when they, uh, back then for NWA. That was Arn Anderson, uh, Ric Flair. I don't It was before Chris Benoit was part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, uh, that was a long time ago.
A long, long time ago.
Uh, I read somewhere, and by somewhere I mean on this outline I'm reading for Shooting the Shit with Matt and Steven for today, that Ryan Reynolds hinted at X-Force, an upcoming X-Men movie.
Yeah, apparently he wants to do some X-Force movies.
Really?
So, he's saying that that X-Force is going to be introduced in Deadpool 3. So he is talking after Deadpool 3 going into doing some X-Force movies, which makes me wonder if he's going to get Hugh Jackman to come back to play Wolverine in those movies.
Oh, that would be great. I mean, uh, there was an X-Force run that I watched, and Wolverine was the leader. You had Archangel.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Was Deadpool in that one?
I don't think he was.
He wasn't in X-Force when Archangel was in it, was he?
Well, this wasn't that long ago. This was a few years ago. That I read it. You had hold on, I'm looking at the roster. Yeah, I believe it was Psylocke was in there. Archangel. You had Wolverine was the leader. There was somebody. Phantom Matt was in it. Can't remember if.
I
Yes,
don't.
he was. He was. Because it was the two when it relaunched in 2010. The X-Force. It was Wolverine, Psylocke, Deadpool, Archangel, Phantom Matt, and Eva, or EVA. Because Phantom Matt kind of reminds me of, well, at least for his costume, kind of like Deadpool with a trench coat.
I'm trying to go through my desk here somewhere in all this freaking mess. I actually have the Wolverine and Deadpool action figures from when they were in X-Force in the black and gray costumes.
Yes, yeah, the run I'm talking about is from, well, I guess 2010 is longer ago than I thought.
You're getting old, Steven. You're getting old.
Yeah, a couple years isn't a couple years anymore.
It's more like 15.
Yeah. Yeah, because this run only lasted 35 issues. And one of the storylines at the time in the X-Force I'm talking about was, I believe Archangel was getting controlled by somebody, or they were pocket cinema. Yeah, the Dark Angel saga.
Okay, yeah.
Where the X-Force seeks advice from Dark Beast, which is the evil Hank McCoy from the Age of Apocalypse universe. And, shit. See, that would be interesting. I read that storyline, most of it anyway.
Right.
And,
So, and he also mentioned that if things go well with Josh Brolin playing Cable, Apparently Josh Brolin has signed on for 4 movies. So he's either going to
Really?
be in X-Force movies or he's going to be off doing his own movies, which would be cool. Of course, you know, they
Until
probably have a lot of actors sign those kind of things just to
lock them up in case something.
right. That way they can say, you know,
In
this
case
is
some other comic, like DC, tries to get them for something, they can be like, no, 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 you're gonna fucking be Cable in this movie.
exactly.
I wonder what happens if Marvel and they try filming at the same time a Marvel movie with Thanos, and but I think he mostly just does voiceover for Thanos. I
Yeah,
think Thanos
I think.
mostly.
I mean, he
Yeah.
does. He does. I think it's mostly like motion capture and shit.
Mhm.
So, but I'm pretty sure that would probably take precedence since he signed that contract first.
I would. I wonder if it don't no Fox owns uh the rights to X Men, right?
Fox owns the rights to X-Men and anything X-Men related. Sony owns the rights to anything Spider-Man related. And I think Marvel needs to just find a way to get the rights back to everything.
Oh, totally.
I mean, could
Uh,
you imagine what Infinity War or Civil War would have looked like if they had the rights to everything?
oh yeah. Well,
I
I
was,
haven't actually read any of the Civil War.
well, it was
But
nothing like the movie. Let me put it that way.
is it ever?
The start in the comic books was basically because the reason the government wanted mutants to register is because this gung ho superhero group that was filming a reality TV show basically
Mhm.
got into a fight with a supervillain group and they blew up a preschool and killed like a whole bunch of like kids.
That's awesome.
So
Not that that's a bunch of kids.
so the government was like, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do this," and then that's when Iron Man and Captain America, you know, took sides. But it wasn't just good guy versus good guy. It was good guy and bad guy versus good guy and bad guy because it was this whole clash of the basically of the Marvel universe, and they just couldn't have that without the full fucking onslaught of their characters. And it was just, I think it was a failed attempt at something that could have been better if they were prepared for it.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see as a movie? Uh, it will never happen because I don't think DC and Marvel could collaborate on it. Uh, because for the most part, DC sucks at live action uh, and Marvel rules, and I don't think DC would give up uh, that much creative control to Marvel. But the amalgam universe,
Yes, that would be cool. I wonder if they could do that though without needing permission from either source, because if they did it in a way where the universe was already like founded and not like show the origin of them splicing together, couldn't they get away with that being like parody?
oh, I don't know because I'm pretty sure they both own the rights. I'm not even sure how the rights work, but I would imagine they both own uh, a significant amount so that neither party could do it on their own.
Right. Oh, speaking
Uh,
of DC movies, did you see that Gina Davis and Charlize Theron are vying to be in the next Wonder Woman movie?
no, is that true?
Yeah,
Who, who is Charlize Theron and who else?
Gina Davis.
Who do they want to be?
I have no idea. They just want to be in the movie. It's all because it was such a big success, and they think they're all powerful women, so they should be in it. And I'm not trying to be sexist, but I don't think that they should be in it simply because they just want to be in it because the first one was a success, not because they are true fans of the franchise. I think they need to stay with the formula that they're doing with Wonder Woman because it worked in the first one.
Absolutely. Yeah, if they change the Wonder Woman formula, that would, I don't even know, because I love that movie. I cannot wait till I can buy it.
It's the best DC movie so far.
Oh, I totally agree. I dare say it might be the best comic book movie of this year, and I wouldn't say that about any other DC DC movie. Um, what else? Although I am looking forward to Thor Ragnarok, but I don't know if that will even compare. What else?
People are complaining because Thor is going to be short. I guess it's only like 80 minutes long.
Really?
Supposedly.
It looks like there's going to be a lot of shit going on. I don't know how
it's probably going to be like full-on action.
Like, right now, top 3, I can't choose which one's the best. Well, I can, because I'll say Wonder Woman. Just because I love Gal Gadot in ways that I should not love somebody I have never met. But Wonder Woman, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The 3 best movies I've seen this year.
So you think Spider-Man Homecoming was that good, huh?
I thought it was pretty good, yeah.
I mean, it's gotten a lot of slack from a lot of people, but
what else
I haven't
came out
seen it
this
yet.
year?
What else came out this year? I don't know.
That's actually the new Spider-Man's like you can pre-order on Google Play. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but I know you can pre-order it because they have that and Wonder Woman up for pre-order. You can get Guardians of the Galaxy too. Oh no, yeah, I gotta change my mind again. Because Logan was pretty fucking good also.
Logan was awesome. That would definitely have to be. I think Logan would be my number 1. Wonder Woman would be number 2.
And
only because I've been a Wolverine fan since I was a fucking knee-high to a grasshopper.
You were that short?
I was.
I have to say that I'm kind of looking forward to Justice League since they're working it a little bit to be more like Wonder Woman, I think. You know, give it similar tone, I guess, or I don't know. But I kind of want to see that.
Right.
That comes out 2 weeks after Ragnarok.
And I think the Thor Ragnarok, I think the reason that that's so short is I really think that that's just a precursor to Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's more like a really long intro.
Have you seen the black and white version of Logan they did?
No. I was thinking about buying the digital special edition of it because I think that comes with it.
Yeah, I might have to buy that one. Like, I liked that movie. You know what? I really don't think there's been a bad comic book movie
this year.
Which is surprising.
Right?
I hope the ones that come out the rest of the year do not disappoint and just ruin the whole fucking year for me.
Yeah, so Justice League may have Green Lantern confirmed
Oh yeah.
because apparently the soundtrack was leaked, and the title to one of the songs is Resurrection, which we know is probably Superman, and the other one is Unite the Seven. There's only 6 of them that we know of.
Right.
So there's a possibility. There's 2 possibilities because we know they're doing a green. They've already announced that they're doing a Lantern Corps movie, which is going to have both the Green Lanterns in it. It's supposed to have Hal Jordan and
Oh,
the other guy.
there's been hundreds of them.
but but it's supposed to have the major lanterns from Earth on it. But so there could be a Green Lantern because in the trailer for Justice League, one of the newer ones, you hear Who's He What saying, there's no Kryptonians and there's no lanterns. So it might even be Supergirl because at one point you see Bruce looking at somebody who we're assuming is Superman, but it could be Supergirl because Supergirl was a big part of the whole Darkseid story.
Is she?
Well, she kicks the shit out of Darkseid at one point in the cartoon, so.
See, I'm not really a huge DC fan, so I don't pick up a lot of their comics.
Well, I like the DC cartoons a lot.
Right.
Especially the Batman ones.
I did take in DC apparently owns the rights to the He-Man comic.
Really?
Or they do the He-Man comic. Because there was a crossover between He-Man and the Justice League. That was kind of okay.
Well, there's a new Masters of the Universe movie in the works.
Yeah, I don't know if they own He-Man, but I know that DC does the comic. Because I think it was a couple years ago that it was out. They did the Eternity War, which I watched the whole. Not watched it. I fucking read the whole thing, and that was great because you got She-Ra, He-Man, Skeletor, Hordak. It was great. I wanted to check out. Last year they did He-Man, Thundercat.
Oh, really? I bet that was cool.
Crossover, but I haven't read it, and like the closest place to us that sells comics is like a crack den, and they don't like treat their comics very well.
They don't treat their game systems very well either.
Did I ever give you that copy of that 6 book that smelled funny that I bought from them?
Yeah.
Did I?
Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, well, I'm going to find it, and you're going to get it.
Lucky me.
You are. You are. But they don't sell any of the newer comics. And so the closest place is really Bull Moose out in Waterville. And I don't think they did the He-Man stuff. And half the time you can't find, like, my favorite company right now is probably Xenoscope. And
they're so hard to find on like book stands.
Every once in a while you can find Xenoscope at Bull Moose. but it must be like a trade-in or something. I don't know if they do trade-ins for the comic books, but not often. Even like when we went to the Comic Con.
Yeah, all those booths with all those long boxes, and nobody brought any fucking Xenoscope.
Yeah,
Which was a little absurd.
That first year we went there, I accidentally found one copy of the Xenoscope comic they had there. And the guy was like, I didn't even know we had that in the long box. So most of my hard copies have come from, there's this, I'm a member of a Xenoscope, a couple of Xenoscope groups on Facebook. And there's this one guy that around Christmas time, he'll take and send out some books. You just have to pay shipping and handling. And that's where I got most of mine from. And
which you're going to have to tell me when that happens again so I can, like, order some books from him.
Well, it's like a grab bag. He just sends you he sends you whatever he wants to.
Right.
But it's still, like that first year I got that Anthony Spay comic case that I have hanging up. And I've gotten a few signed comics, and it's decent that the guy does it. I mean,
right, he doesn't have to.
I think both years I did like $20 shipping, and you get the package he sends you is well worth it. I mean, I think last year I got, I don't know what I did with them. They're around here somewhere. I got Xenoscope Mini Mate, which I like Legos, I guess. But yeah, I want to read that He-Man Thundercat crossover. I haven't been able to find a decent, because I'd rather read a physical copy. Like digital copies are okay, but if I have a hard copy, I'm more likely to read it.
Right. I mean, digital copies are good if you're doing reviews or whatever, but if you really want the book, it's nice to have the actual physical copy.
Well, even then, because we get digital copies of some comics from companies for the website, and like this past month, I've been slacking because I haven't read or done reviews of any of them. And like one of the companies, Xenoscope, sends us stuff, and they just started a new Robin Hood series last couple of weeks ago.
Robin Hood's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah. So I gotta get back into reading that.
Get to reading.
I like to pretend I'm busy though. I think getting that Roku for the living room was a bad idea.
It keeps you out of your room all the time.
Yeah. Almost like I'm winning. Although, I am thinking about, I might have to get rid of some of these computers in my room. Like the old desktop that had some of the Geek Life stuff on it.
You mean all the computers that you don't use?
Right. Because I got 3 towers in front of me. And I think there's a 4th one over there somewhere. But get an actual TV and hook up the Xbox One in my room.
There you go.
I I'd really never get anything done for the website. I'd have to, because we don't have the fast internet, so I wouldn't be able to take and, you know, stream or anything. I'd have to record it somehow and throw it on YouTube.
Well, you could stream it over your phone.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So I think the only thing left we have on the topic list is Baywatch.
Yes, you saw Baywatch. I didn't.
I did. I've actually been looking forward to it because I like most of the Rock movies. So when it was the day Google Play had it, first day Google Play had it up for sale, I bought it. Well, actually, not the first day. When I got paid, the day I got paid after it came up, I bought it and I watched it, and I thought it was a pretty okay film. Some people give it shit, but I don't care about those people. So,
well, I think they gave it shit because it wasn't exactly Baywatch.
Well, nowadays, if you go into reboot thinking that what you're about to see is going to be exactly the same as the previous version, you're a fucking idiot.
Right. I mean, look at some of the other ones they've done, like Starsky and Hutch and Chips.
Sure. Yeah, have you seen Chips?
No.
I watched it.
Was it good?
I really like that Shepherd, so.
Not as good as Baywatch, huh?
I would watch it again, but I wouldn't pay to watch it. Baywatch, I wouldn't pay to watch it again, but that's because I own it now. So it would be kind of stupid to buy it over again. But I've watched it 1.5 times. Because I watched it once and then I started it and ended up going to do something. So I didn't watch the whole thing. But yeah, it's nothing like the series. Although David Hasselhoff does make an appearance.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. A couple times. He actually plays The Rock's mentor. And guess what his name is?
What?
Mitch. The Rock's character's name is Mitch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Mitch Buchanan. I didn't really pay attention. But his mentor, David Hasselhoff, his character's name is Mitch also.
So is that really The Rock's name, or did you just take that name on cause?
I guess it's really. Oh, you mean storyline-wise? I don't know. I mean, everybody calls him Mitch. But, then CJ, the Baywatch lifeguard CJ, the blonde in that clip I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Pamela Anderson played her in the series.
Right. Everybody remembers CJ.
Huh?
Everybody remembers CJ.
Yeah. At the end of the movie, The Rock introduces the head of Baywatch from the Hawaii division, Casey Jean, which is apparently what CJ stands for in the show. So Pamela Anderson made a guest appearance also. But yeah, it was a decent flick. Like Heather and Mom have watched High School Musical a lot of times, and I've seen it a few times. Plus, I've seen that 17 again? Is that what it is with Zac Efron and the dude from Friends?
I have no idea.
Anyway, he fucking looks nothing like he did back in the High School Musical days. This fucking guy is jacked in Baywatch.
Not quite as jacked as The Rock, though.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I'd oil him up. No, I have no idea what she said.
as you sit there and rub oil on a turkey.
Yeah. But,
walking the dog and all.
Yeah. Walking the dog a lot. Yeah, so he's in there, and, like, there is a lot of, a bit of swearing. Like, the F-bomb. I don't swear, so I'm not gonna say the word that they say, but it's the F-bomb, and that's dropped quite a bit throughout the movie. I don't know all the players, or all the actors in it, like, the bad guy, in the movie is played by Trinyana, you say her name. It's Spring something Chopra. Anybody that watched the TV show Quantico,
Never watched it, but I heard of it.
What?
I never watched it, but I heard of it.
Yeah, I watched the first season and it was pretty okay. I haven't watched any of the others. Priyanka Chopra is her name. Apparently, she was the winner of the Miss World 2000 pageant in India.
Nice.
She's a bad guy, and so I knew her. I knew The Rock. I knew Zac Efron. The one that plays Summer is something Dadrio. Have you seen the movie? I think it's San Andreas. The one where The Rock plays a helicopter pilot who has to save.
Yep.
The one that plays the daughter is the one that plays Summer in Baywatch. Nobody else I know. But like I said, it's a decent flick. If you go in there thinking it's going to be like a TV show, you're going to be disappointed a lot.
Right, because they tried to pull the TV show off as a drama.
Right. Yeah. See, back then though, people dug watching people in bathing suits and shit. I'm not saying they don't now, but you could see more of it, like, but because they did Pacific Blue for a little while too.
Right.
The bike cop,
Yeah.
which I enjoyed that show. They even in Baywatch, I think it's in the trailer, they mention the slow motion run that Baywatch does.
Yep.
Like the CJ Parker, the CJ character. Every time she runs, you see her run in slow motion. Everybody mentions it. And this is a movie where he's not fat. The one that got his dick stuck in the slat.
Yeah.
He ends up with CJ at the end. They don't show him fucking, but you can pretty much tell that's what happened. But then again, in movies, the fat guy does sometimes get the girl, doesn't he?
It gives you a little bit of hope.
Yeah. Gives me hope I should be in a fucking movie. Or a character in a movie.
Well, we're an hour and 31 minutes in.
Yeah, I guess, for tonight, we're done. I'm thinking next week, I had a topic in mind that I thought of while we were doing this for next week. And that is, I'm thinking we should talk about, movies we would like to see from comic books or something like that. I think that was the
Like
idea I had.
adaptations that haven't been done yet.
Right. I think that was the idea. I could be wrong. If I remember, then I'll write it down in something so we can talk about it next week.
Alrighty.
We are going to miss everybody that hasn't watched it, and everybody that will not watch it later on YouTube. So, for Matthew and myself, we bid thee a fond farewell.
Good night.